Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over some of the best transfers you can make this week for Double Game Week 37. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below, leave a comment who are you thinking of bringing in, subscribe if you're brand new. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, just want to make this absolutely clear that this is not a free hit draft or a wildcard draft or anything like that. As you can clearly see, I've got like, what, 4 or 5 Villa players, 4 or 5 Everton players. Obviously, you can only have 3 players from a club on a team at any time. This is just a bunch of individual players that you could potentially think about bringing in because they either double or they've got really good fixtures for the remainder of the season. They're in really good form, etc. So yeah, just want to make that absolutely clear at the start of the video. So in goal, we do have Pickford and Martinez. I think these are the 2 best keeper options this week. You also have somebody like Schmeichel as well, who goes to Watford, but then also has Chelsea. So a little bit... It's okay, but obviously there's much better keepers out there. So if you were going to pick between these two, let's say you're trying to get rid of Ramsdale, or you're trying to get rid of, I don't know, any other keeper, and you want to attack this double game week, I like Pickford a little bit more. He is 0.7 cheaper. Both of these players do have 2 home games, so you don't really have to worry about home and away. But as well as that, if you're not on a free hit and you're bringing these on a transfer, Pickford has a much better fixture in Game Week 38, which is Arsenal away, which is obviously still tough. But obviously Villa have Man City away, which is, you know, the worst fixture of the season. As well as that, Pickford, I think, has made like 30 more saves than Martinez this season. So, yeah, whether you're on a free hit or you're just bringing in a player, I like Pickford more than Martinez this week, just regardless. But yeah, Pickford, I think, is a really good option for the remainder of the season. At the back, Cash, Digne, Mykolenko, Klein, and Holgate, I think are all okay options to bring in. Holgate is a good option because obviously 2 home fixtures. He's really cheap as well. Seems to be playing his start of the last 3. So yeah, for 4.2, bringing in a double game week player that should play both games, I think is, you know, you can't really fault that. That's a nice option. And as well as that, we also have Klein as well. Klein is only 4.3, and as you can see, he's playing all of the fixtures now. So yeah, if you are trying to bring in like a really cheap defender that you know that's going to play, who does double, I think Klein and Holgate are your best options if you are on a budget. If you've got a little bit more money to splash, Mykolenko I think is a really nice option. He started playing really well as like a wing back now. He's getting his forward as like Richarlison. And yeah, I think this guy is due for a really good haul soon. I mean, obviously he just got 14, but that was in the double. But yeah, I think he's having a lot of shots. You know, his potential is really good. I think Mykolenko is a nice option if you are trying to bring in an Everton defender this week and you have a little bit more money. And as well as that, obviously you got Cash and Digne, both good options. I like Cash more. Just simply because I feel like he has a lot more shots than Digne. I think Digne is a more creative player, but I think Cash's goal potential is a lot higher. Especially recently as well, his numbers have been really good. He is a little bit more expensive than Digne, but if you do have someone like Laporte or Diaz, like we don't know what's happening with Laporte, but obviously with Diaz, he's out for the remainder of the season. There's a few players that you can easily downgrade to Cash with. So yeah, it doesn't really matter, I guess, on the price if you do have a player to downgrade. But I think all these defenders could potentially do well in the double. My favorite out of them all is Cash, and I also like Mykolenko as well. If you're on a free hit, I'd probably double up with Villa defense and then have like Pickford in goal. I think that's like the best kind of strategy. I don't think I'd go double Villa and double Everton. I think that's a little bit too crazy because there are the likes of Cancelo and Trent who can easily do well this week. That I think should be in every team still or free hit draft if you are using that, or wild card or whatever. So that's the defense and the goalkeepers. In midfield, Kulusevski's more like for, you know, if I don't really know why I brought him here, to be fair. There are options like Maddison, etc. Just Kulusevski's got Burnley at home and Norwich away, so 2 really nice fixtures. A lot of the doubles, obviously, you'd be bringing in this week, don't have a great fixture for Game Week 38, whereas Kulusevski, yeah, he doesn't double this week, but then he's also got Norwich. He's very cheap as well. He's only 6.3, so if you do have somebody that you wanted to get rid of, I think Kulusevski is a good option. Same with Son as well. I think if you don't have Son now, I think you just kind of... I mean, if you have Kane, then fair enough. But if you are thinking about getting rid of Salah for whatever reason, I think Son is just a really nice option to bring in. Obviously, Burnley and Norwich are home for these 2 Spurs players. Again, they don't double in 37, but Burnley's a really nice fixture. And then, of course, Norwich at the end of the season. Triple Spurs on the end of the season is just a given, I think. I think if you can easily get to it, I think it's definitely worth it because I think they're going to win that game like 4-5-0. And of course, they have everything to play for now. They're 1 point behind Arsenal after the North London derby last night. So yeah, I think these players are really gonna hit the ground running. And as well as that, Son is 1 goal away now from the Golden Boot. Salah might actually drop it to Son, and I really hope that Son wins it, to be fair, because he's got like 21 goals without any penalties, which, you know, hasn't been done for a long time, I think. So yeah, I really hope that Son does get the Golden Boot. Other options in midfield, obviously you've got your Maddison, you've got Gordon as well, who's just a really nice cheap enabler if you are on a free hit, or you just want to, like, let's say you have Ramsey or someone and Ramsey's not fit. We don't know if he is. We're still waiting for the Gerrard press conference. He's an easy switch to Gordon. Zaha, I think, is a really good captaincy option this week. On penalties, obviously has a double. I think if you're on a free hit or not, I think that Zaha could potentially be a player to bring in. A lot of people are thinking of getting rid of Saka for him. I am in the same boat. I'm thinking of getting rid of Saka for him. I just think that Zaha is a nice hold for the remainder of the season. And Man United at home in the last game, I think Palace can easily win that game, and they can easily win that game 2-3-0 as well, because United are just all over the place. Another enabler is Brownhill as well, getting quite a few points over the last few games and stuff. So you see a 10 bomb there, a 13 bomb. So yeah, another cheap enabler here, but again, Maddison's there, Coutinho's there for other options. And as well, Coutinho's just permanently signed for Villa. So Coutinho, if you do own him and you do hold him, I think it all depends on Watkins. I think Coutinho is kind of rotating with Buendia quite a bit now. But I think if Watkins is injured, then I think that Ings will obviously play up top, and then Buendia and Coutinho will play behind them. So I think it all depends. I think getting rid of Coutinho this week all depends on Watkins, because obviously Coutinho is an easy downgrade to Zaha, who you know is going to play on penalties, etc. But again, you just kind of have to wait for the press conference. I think most people are this week, to be fair, trying to hear what's happening to Laporte, Watkins, and etc. All these different players that are injured. As also, like, Rafinha also went off with an injury as well. So that's the midfield. Up top, we have Richarlison, which I think is the best captaincy option this week. Obviously, this doesn't have like Trent, Cancelo, Salah, because they're just obviously givens, and I mean, a lot of people still don't own Son as well. That's why I think that he should be in every team right now. He's just going for the Golden Boot. You should just have him. But yeah, up top, Richarlison, Watkins, Ings. Now Watkins and Ings is an interesting one. I think if Watkins is injured, if Steven Gerrard says that, like, you know, Watkins is done for the next week, then yeah, Ings has to be in. He's on penalties. He's going to start every single game, and he looks really, really good against Liverpool as well. He was having a lot of shots. He scored that really nice goal as well that was just offside. He did miss a couple of chances, which was a bit annoying as a Watkins owner, because Watkins set him up a couple of times. But yeah, Ings looks quite explosive. And yeah, he should hopefully play really well in game week 37. But again, if you are bringing in a few Villa players this week, just keep in mind that they do have City on the last game of the season. And of course, you don't want to be dealing with that. But yeah, all depends on if Watkins is injured. I think if Watkins is fine, then you just go Watkins. You know, if Ings isn't on the pitch, then Watkins is on penalties. You know, he's just been playing really well. You know, his numbers have been really high lately. I wouldn't really captain him, but I think that he's, you know, if he's not injured, then he's a good player to bring in. But yeah, Richarlison, really good captaincy option this week, on penalties as well. A lot of players here are on penalties, the likes of Richarlison, Watkins, or Ings, Zaha. I think that Kane might even give Son a penalty as well. You know, if Son is like on par with a Golden Boot and they're winning like 2-0, I think Kane will give the penalty to Son, which obviously Kane owners do not want to hear. But I mean, he deserves it, man. He deserves the Golden Boot. He's absolutely played ridiculous for Tottenham this season. But yeah, that's just some of the transfers that I would potentially be bringing in this week. Again, all of these guys' numbers have been a lot higher, probably apart from Kulusevski. But again, he's a bit of a weird one this week. I mean, if it was me, really, I'd probably bring in I don't know, like, maybe just save him for like next week. I don't really know why he's here, to be fair. But if you do have someone that you want to get rid of, like Coutinho, maybe from Coutinho to Zaha this week, and then from Zaha to Kulusevski next week, or something like that, if you really want to. It's just a cheap Spurs player. You know, there's just that Norwich game that you really, really want to target. But anyway, that's going to be everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new. It's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Best of luck with Double Game Week 37. And until next time, peace.